Kia ora. My 10th book was Kōrero Mai, and the reason that I did this was to help people who want to be able to do a mihi pepeha. Some people call it a mihi, some people call it a pepeha. Greeting and introductions with children in readiness for they're probably going to be doing that when they go to school, so it's a good thing to give them a little bit of an introduction too. So this is the way that in Māoridom people connect with each other. So in their mihi pepeha they're talking about how they connect with the land, with the maunga, with the awa, with the different iwi, and where they come from. So when people are talking about that, when they're introducing themselves in Māoridom, they're actually letting other people in the room that they're talking to at a meeting or something, or just one-to-one, discover, oh, I know that person, or I know people who come from there. And so that's the point of it, and that's why there's a lot of different parts to it. This book was a little bit hard to do in a way because you can't really include everything that anyone might use in that kind of a greeting. And so this isn't how to do a mihi greeting. The mihi means the greeting, and the pepeha, that means your background to how you do the connecting, you know, what was your marae, what was your iwi, what was your maunga, etc. So it is a very Māori thing, it's a treasure, it's a taonga for Māori, and there are some people who feel a bit uncomfortable about people doing that who aren't Māori. However, I believe that it's very widely done in New Zealand. I go to meetings sometimes and there are no Māori people there at all, and everyone still gets up and says, you know, ko Sharon tōku ingoa, and what my mountain is and what my river is. So up to you, but I really believe that we can all be doing this in New Zealand, and that's just my personal belief and why I did a book about this. So the way that I've done it, because it was really tricky to figure out how to do this, is I've included 3 different children. So the voices of these children are actually Stacey, the singer, the main singer on our CDs. 3 of her children are the singers in this. These aren't their mihis, they're not, one of them isn't Pania and Hari and Sophie, these are just the voices. So I've got this child who's Māori, this child who's mixed race, and this child who's Pākehā, and they're all starting with their name, and then they're talking about their maunga, and then each one is talking about their awa, and each one's talking about their iwi. There's several ways that you could deal with that from a Pākehā point of view or from any other ethnicity. This way we've done is ko Ngāti Pākehā, the iwi. There are other ways as well. Then the name of your dad, the name of your mum, and where you're from, no Hēkwe, or some people might say no Whēkwe, depends on what dialect where you're from. And then so this is where you're from, so no Tāmaki Makaurau aho, that's where I'm from, that's where I was born, and so that's where you're from. And then another way to answer ko wai tō ingoa, at the front we had ko wai tō ingoa, and the answers for Pania was ko Pania tōku ingoa. Another way to answer that is just say your name aho. Ko Sharon aho, I am Sharon, rather than my name is Sharon. And for little ones that can be easier for them to say perhaps. Ko Sharon aho might be a lot easier for them to say. In this particular book and CD is the first time that we've actually got 2 tracks. So what happens at the end of this song is the child who's Pania says her whole mihi, right from her maunga all the way through to her name. And then tēnā koutou, assuming she's talking to lots of people, as in the children in the classroom. This is an example of how you can do this with your children in early childhood or in a school setting. They often do this kind of thing anyway. So then she does all of hers, because of course in reality we're not standing there saying my name's Sharon and the next person saying, then I'm doing my whole mihi pepeha all as one. So this is an example of how that would be. And then there's a second track on the CD which is blank. So it goes ko te maunga, ko te awa, etc. So that's where, if you want to, you can get the children to be filling that in. And you also have my permission to photocopy this double page spread. Even just black and white is fine to save your colour, as a way of maybe using this with the families to get the children to get their families help to find out, well, which maunga is either near to them or is near to where they were born or is important to their family if they've come from another place overseas, which awa, and for their iwi. And some families will really need help with understanding that, so it depends how you do it. If you want to do that, then that's good, and it's a good preparation for the children as they get through to school level. However, the thing is that this isn't like the be-all and end-all of how to do it. It's not a template, it's not the only way to do it, it's just this way that I've done, for people who really don't know where to start. And so that's the point of it. I haven't included marae, I haven't included waka, because I felt that those two were particularly hard for people that aren't Māori, and children will also, Māori children will come already perhaps with their whole mihi pepeha, or whichever way they call it, and they'll be completely different to that. Whatever is right for them is right, and then this is maybe a help for you along the way. Some people have told me that it's a big help for them. So we'll play that song. You'll see that each of these children is saying theirs. What I get children to do is on this side of each page, kōwai something or other, I get them to echo. So I'll show you what I mean by that as the song goes by, and we'll get to the end and then we'll see what you think after that. Kōrero mai, Kōrero mai. So join in with this bit and the kōrero mai. Ko ai tō maunga, ko ai tō maunga, ko ai tō maunga, kōrero mai. Ko ara ki te maunga, ka roa te hu te maunga, kurani tō te maunga. Kōrero mai, ko ai tō awa, ko ai tō awa, ko ai tō awa, ko ai tō awa, kōrero mai. Get them to practice all that. Kōrero mai, ko ai tō iwi, ko ai tō iwi, ko ai tō iwi, kōrero mai, kōrero mai. Kōrero mai, ko ai tō papa, ko ai tō papa, ko ai tō papa, kōrero mai. Kōrero mai, ko ai tō mama, ko ai tō mama, ko ai tō mama, kōrero mai. was what's your name? So this is her doing her whole one.